everyone. Okay, so this week over on Channel Mom, we are discussing that moment when you find out that you are pregnant. And some of you that are watching this may have just found out that you are pregnant, so massive congratulations. I had my daughter, my first daughter, 6 years ago, and now it feels like everybody around me is having babies. So I had a conversation with a couple of my lad friends the other day who've just had babies, and it was actually quite a relevant one. So I thought I'd tell you my story and how I felt, and maybe for some of you that you will feel the same. So I'll share that with you. So when I found out I was pregnant, I was working on a job in Liverpool with my husband. We were running a promotional job, and I'd had stomach pains, and we weren't trying for kids. It wasn't really, we loved each other, and we kind of just went, meh, if it happens. We didn't really, I think you sort of think it doesn't really work. You sort of just think, oh, so people, that happens, that people get pregnant. Certainly we did anyway. And so I felt, he kept saying, I've got you up the duff, I've got you pregnant. And I was like, actually, like, we should probably check. And we were working next to a McDonald's on a job in the centre of Liverpool, and so we had been using the toilets in McDonald's all day, and I thought, I can't take a pregnancy test in McDonald's disabled toilet. It doesn't seem right. So I paid 20p to use the slightly posher toilets down the road, and it came back and it was like a faint line, and I ain't a pregnancy test connoisseur, so I don't know what that means. And I was like, and I came back and I went, I think I'm pregnant. And my husband just went, I was 26. Or was I 25? 25. And he went, good age, great. And that was his reaction. There was no fear with him at all. It was just, and I don't think I felt any fear. I just felt, okay, we do this then. My husband's such a support. Like, I've never ever felt fearful of anything with him by my side. And so we found out, and I remember I went to the doctors, and I was like, I just went, right, so I'm pregnant. What the fuck do I do now then? What's the rules? He didn't laugh at that. And my sister says that's because I look like a child, and he thought I was a statistic of teenage pregnancy. Anyway, so we found out I was pregnant, and we had a baby. That happens. And what we were discussing yesterday with my friends, and I think this is quite an important point that particularly women don't talk about unless it's the extreme. So the extreme of postnatal depression. I didn't have postnatal depression, so I'm not talking about that. But what I'd like to sort of note and say is that when I first had Brooke was in special care for a couple of weeks, and but I was actually there because I was in hospital as well. But those first few months of a baby, they're really functional. And I know there will be some people that have that instant rush of love and connection and like, oh, this is my place. And there are definitely those women. But there are also those of you who will be like me, who just were doing the functional stuff, and it feels like you're not really getting that much back. It's just wiping bums and nappies, and it's very regimented. And there were definitely times when I didn't, like I said, I didn't go to depression or anything like that, but I didn't have like, I openly said to people, like, totally care about this baby, totally, there's that natural level of love that I suppose there is there, but it was more like, I know I should take care of this baby, this is part of me, like this, but it didn't feel that sort of excited, like, awesomeness. It was just like, wow, this is cool, like, my baby and that, like, so I just have to look after it, do I? Okay. And just doing the functional stuff. And it really isn't till the later months when you're getting a bit of something back that you really get to know them. Like, I've always said, like, I didn't know that baby. Like, that's a fresh person that has nothing, is giving nothing back to me. So I don't know that person. Obviously, as you know, your child grows and you start to, they do things and they smile when you come in and you get something back, then that's different. You get to know their little personality, and then obviously, of course, then you adore, you know, I absolutely adore my children. But I think there's this preconception that you're supposed to feel this rush of love, and you know, we see it on adverts, and especially as mums, you carried that baby, you're supposed to feel that's what it feels like. And I don't think I felt that. I felt like it was my duty and I was supposed to look after the baby, but I didn't feel that like desperate like love, not straight away. Obviously that comes, and now I'm like besotted by my children. But I think, yeah, it's worth noting that those initial ones are tough, but please, not impossible. I'm not one of those moms, and it gets easier. So when everyone scares you and they say like, oh, you wait till the teeth and you wait till, tell them to shut up, it gets easier. It gets well easier, because then, you know, it's not a dog. It's not like the same level forever. You eventually get something back, and then your job as a parent is to like teach them stuff, and then you get to like be able to negotiate with them as they get older. And yes, there's, you know, for every new bit there's a new hard bit, but there's also a way better bit as they get older and they can chat to you and you start to see their real personality come through. It's amazing and it's lovely. And yes, it's hard work, but nobody pretended that being a parent wasn't going to be hard work, but you get a lot back. And then if you go on to have a second, you then laugh at yourself for how hard you thought the first one was. And you think, one child was so easy. What was I complaining about? And then you've got two and you're like, ah. But then again, it gets easier, truly. And I had my kids 2 years apart, so there wasn't much between it. And yes, it was a bit of graft, but now I'm starting to reap the rewards of that when they're fun and lovely together, and they're actually fairly easy overall. So that is it. If you found out that you are pregnant, massive congratulations. You know, just take it, do your thing on it, and don't listen to everybody else, not even me. Just go in and do your thing and find out how it works for you. And somebody said to me, your child's never had a parent before, so they don't know how it works. So stop worrying that you have to be some perfect parent, because you don't, because there's no such thing. Have fun. Any questions that you have, pop them below. I'll answer them, but it's based on no authority whatsoever other than being a parent. So I don't know if that's useful at all, but I'll speak to you all soon. Congratulations. Bye.